equal justice is what we need all over Liberia. Equal right, equal justice is what we need all over Liberia.
Now, thank you for coming, everyone. This is the Liberian Advocates for Change through Social Justice and Human Rights. As you have been hearing our jingles, and for the past 3 years, going around having the Liberian people to go through the process of voting on their issues. Today is the day that we submit our wishes to our government. So today is January 26, 2024. Petition presenting the wishes of the governed to the Honorable 55th Legislature of the Republic of Liberia in its second sitting on Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Article 1 of the Liberian Constitution, 1986. Honorable Speaker and members of the House of Representatives, the Honorable Presiding Officer, Pro Temperate, and members of the Senate, through the advocacy of the Liberian Advocates for Change through Social Justice and Human Rights Incorporated, LACTS, we the people present our wishes, or we present warm greetings and our wishes to the government following Article 1 of the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. The framers of the Liberian Constitution emphasized this idea that all our people, regardless of their history, traditions, beliefs, ethnic background, formed a unified political entity, and with the aim of living harmoniously, embracing fraternal love and tolerance, they solemnly established and declared the Constitution as the governing document of the Republic of Liberia. But the question is, what is the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, as well as its practical effect on both the people and the government? Article 2, subsection 1 defines the Constitution as the supreme and fundamental law of Liberia, and its provisions having binding force and effect on all authorities and persons throughout the Republic. In other words, the Constitution is the most powerful law of Liberia. As a result of this, no law in this Republic shall be in contradiction or contravention of the Constitution. Furthermore, no one in this country is above the laws of this nation, irrespective of status. Even the government must uphold the principles and provisions in the Constitution at all times. Today, I stand before you as a messenger, delivering the heartfelt wishes of the governed to the government, echoing the principles and the provisions embedded in the Constitution. According to Article 1 of the Constitution, quote, all power is inherent in the people. All free governments are instituted by their authority and for their benefits, and they have the right to alter and reform the same when their safety and happiness so require. In order to ensure democratic government which responds to the wishes of the governed, the people shall have the right at such period and in such manner as provided for under this Constitution to cause their public servants to leave office, end quote. To better understand the principles and provisions embedded in Article 1, it is crucial that we reference our Constitution, including Article 1, to establish indisputable facts that distinguish our position as a people and the position of our government. Moreover, establishing this basic constitutional understanding will promote effective dialogue between us and our government, as well as enhance our collective responsibility for the betterment of our country. Facts to consider. Fact number 1. In 2023, we the people of Liberia instituted this free government by our authority for our benefit, safety, and happiness. Therefore, this government is required to respond to our wishes at all times to safeguard democracy. That's fact number 1. Fact number 2. We the people of Liberia are employers of our government. Fact number 3, as employers, we the people have the power and right to decide or determine the content of our wishes, meaning the national agenda, which our public servants must prioritize and adequately implement during the tenure. Fact number 4, we the people of Liberia have the power to remove this government or elected members of this government at any time, not waiting for 6 years tenure to end, not waiting for 9 years tenure to end, but at any time when they fail to respond to our wishes. Fact number 5, as highlighted in Article 17 of the Constitution, we the people of the Republic of Liberia have the power and right to instruct our government, explaining our wishes and how we want our country to be governed. Lastly, fact number 6, as highlighted in Article 6, we the people of the Republic of Liberia have the constitutional right, power, and responsibility to ensure the social, economic, and political well-being of our country. Based on these facts, we can comfortably capture the true intent of the framers of the Liberian Constitution in one sentence, and that is the end of all democratically elected governments of the Republic of Liberia is to fulfill the wishes of the governed. It is to this end, with a strong sentiment and conviction, that we, the citizens of Liberia, cast our hopes upon this foundation of a democratic society aspiring to witness a nation that truly embodies the constitutional values we so hold dear. The Constitution calls us to build a nation where the collective aspirations of its people are not just acknowledged, but actively pursued. Therefore, going forward, we, the citizens of Liberia, shall exercise and enforce our constitutional power, rights, and responsibilities fully and effectively to ensure the social, economic, and political well-being of our country at all times. Hence, we express our wishes today, remembering that the power entrusted to this government is a sacred responsibility. Therefore, following the principles and provisions of the Constitution, we are confident that our wishes shall become the chief cornerstone of our national agenda. In Article 17, the citizens of Liberia have the right to assemble and consult upon the common good to instruct their representatives to petition the government. In line with this constitutional mandate, we the people, under the guidance, leadership, and direction of the Liberian Advocates for Change through Social Justice and Human Rights Incorporated LACTS, have met, discussed, and voted on our national issues. Therefore, we are here today to submit and instruct our representatives on the wishes of the governed on this 16th day of January 2026. Furthermore, we the people of Liberia demand our government to fully prioritize and implement our wishes by the end of the tenure. Now comes our heartfelt wishes for national agenda, which shall include, but are not limited to, wishes of the governed. Number 1, a better healthcare delivery system. First and foremost, we submit our fervent wish for a healthcare system that leaves no one behind. Our desire is for accessible, affordable, and high-quality healthcare that safeguards the well-being of every citizen. The Constitution, in its commitment to the pursuit of happiness, implores us to prioritize the health of our people, recognizing it as an essential human right and a foundation for a thriving society. Citizens, wishes of the governed. Number 2, a better education system that encompasses the Constitution and civic and voter education. Education stands tall among our aspirations. We wish for an education system that nurtures the minds of our youth, equipping them with the knowledge and skills necessary to contribute meaningfully to our nation. Let education be the key that unlocks the full potential of every individual, regardless of his or her gender, background, social class, or religion, fostering a future generation prepared to face the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. Wishes of the governed. Number 3, a productive agricultural sector free from GMOs. In agriculture, we yearn for policies and initiatives that empower our farmers, ensuring food security and sustainable practices. Let our fertile land be cultivated with care, and may the bounty they provide be shared equitably among our people. Wishes of the governed. Number 4, a better road connectivity, beginning with all major highways in every county. Road connectivity is not merely a physical network, but a bridge that binds our communities. We wish for a robust infrastructure that connects every corner of Liberia, fostering unity and economic growth. As we traverse these roads, may they lead us toward progress and prosperity. Wishes of the governed. Number 5, a better justice system. Equal justice for all in accordance with Article 11C. Our dreams extend to the halls of justice. We submit our wishes, or our wish, for a legal system that is independent of the executive power, impartial, fair, transparent, and accessible to all. Let justice be a beacon guiding our society, ensuring that the rights of every citizen are protected and upheld. Wishes of the governed. Number 6, fair concession agreements. Over the years, flawed concession agreements, particularly in the natural resource sector, have undermined our economic development and exacerbated social inequalities. We know the economy as the backbone of a society. Based on this fact, we demand our government revisit all concession agreements, renegotiate or cancel unfair concession agreements in consultation with the Liberian people regarding new terms and conditions of our agreements. Finally, wishes of the governed. Number 7, zero tolerance for illicit drug trafficking, production, distribution, and use in Liberia. The bedrock for the perpetuation of a better future of any society depends on its youth and their empowerment. The legal framework concerning drug enforcement in Liberia has been regarded as weak and ineffective. We cannot ignore this drug addiction pandemic and witness the future of our country being decimated right before our very eyes. Therefore, the government shall target drug producers, traffickers, and distributors through robust drug laws or drug law enforcement agencies. Moreover, the government shall establish rehabilitation centers equipped with effective programs such as counseling, mental health treatments, as well as reintegration support. The next submission shall be the wishes of the government for local government. Local government's issues are unique to individual districts. Therefore, LACTS is working around the clock in an effort to engage the entire 73 districts before submission. However, to speed up this process, LACTS is in imperative need of urgent logistical support in this regard. In the meantime, as part of our advocacy, LACTS shall request the Ministry of Education, Health, Justice, Agriculture, Public Works, NEC, and others to catalog all that is needed to foster or facilitate the efforts or their efforts for performing effectively the duties of the Liberian people. The information presented will be submitted to the government for the necessary budgetary allocation in line with the wishes and aspirations of the Liberian people who have instituted this administration after the October 10, 2023 election for their good and well-being. We, the people of the Republic of Liberia, do hereby demand our government to fully fund all our institutions relevant to the implementation of our wishes. We shall follow up with the government for progress report every 18 months regarding the progress in the implementation of our wishes. Our objective shall be to promote accountability, transparency, good governance, and the timely implementation of our wishes, as well as to encourage popular participation in the decision-making process of our government. Historically, we are going to talk historical facts describing government's relations to the people of Liberia, relevant to the Constitution and governance of the nation. It has been grossly disappointing. The intent of adopting our Constitution as the governing document of Liberia was to serve as a political GPS that should guide us in the direction of good governance and a thriving society. Unfortunately, since becoming an independent and sovereign nation or state in 1847, successive governments of Liberia have not lived up to the expectations of the Constitution in serving the welfare of the citizens. This is solely because the citizens are being deprived of their inherent right to knowledge of the principles and provisions in their Constitution. As a result of this, the government has consistently, and successfully failed to uphold the Constitution in ways which would improve the livelihood of the citizenry. They have failed to adequately implement the social contracts they have entered with us, the people. For instance, Article 7 of the Constitution mandates the government to manage the national economy and the natural resources of Liberia in such manner as shall ensure the maximum feasible participation of Liberian citizens under conditions of equality as to advance the general welfare of the Liberian people and the economic development of Liberia. Regrettably, the general welfare of the Liberian people, the economic development of Liberia, and and the equal distribution of the country's resources are yet to be attained after 176 years. Over these years, despite the provisions in Article 10 that mandate the government to ensure the teaching of the principles and provisions of the Constitution in all institutions of learning in Liberia, successive governments of Liberia have knowingly and deliberately denied the Liberian people the inalienable right to knowledge. Recently, in August of 2021, we the people, through the advocacy of LACTS, petitioned the Supreme Court of Liberia to interpret the provisions in Article 1 and give it meaning. To date, the Supreme Court is deliberately and perpetually depriving us of our inherent right to the understanding of our Constitution. We the people are being subjected to underdevelopment, backwardness, abject poverty, and bad governance, just to name a few consequences. Instead of progressing, our country is malnourished or stunted. Instead of partnership between the power addressees and power addressors, it is apparent that there is subjects and masters relationship. Had we not been deprived of our constitutional knowledge as mandated by our Constitution, neglect and government's abuse of power would be avoided. For instance, the government between 1847 and the first coup d'etat in 1871 had no obligation and responsibility to undertake public projects such as education, schools, healthcare, agriculture, roads, or public buildings, which would have benefited us, the people, raised our standard of living, and gave us happiness. Instead, these important national programs were left at the behest of religious institutions and philanthropics. As a consequence, and to date, public investments in education, agriculture, health, and infrastructure have been woefully low or dismal. Going forward, we the people of the Republic of Liberia shall no longer stomach our government's neglect of their constitutional responsibilities. It is clear to us that the activities of our yesterday's governments dating back to 1847 to now, regarding the neglect of their constitutional responsibilities, have determined the structure of our today Liberia. Over these years, we have lived in our own country under conditions similar to second-class citizens or slaves. This must end with us. Our objective here today is to reverse this unfortunate state of development and position our country on course, starting with this current administration. It is to this end that LACTS, or the Liberian Advocates for Change Through Social Justice and Human Rights, was petitioned by the Liberian people to assist in this process. Since then, LACTS has worked closely with the Liberian people in reaching a consensus on their wishes that shall be submitted to their government today. In response to the request from the citizenry, on May 16, 2022, LACTS notified all political parties, highlighting that the wishes of the governed would be published 2 months prior to the October 10, 2023 election and shall be submitted to the government today. This communication was published on Front Page Africa, Daily Observer, etc. In response, or in keeping with our commitment, on August 1st, 2023, the Will of the People was published in the various newspapers as well as on Today Liberia TV, YouTube, ELBC, Spoon TV, as well as other channels, and was followed by a press conference or a press release at this Capitol Hill, Capitol building located on Capitol Hill in Monrovia. On November 21st, 2023, LACTS wrote an open letter to the newly elected government, reminding them of this of the citizens' action, which was scheduled to be submitted to their government on this day. This letter was also published on Front Page Africa, Daily Observer, D15 Radio in Monrovia County, Kwatika Radio in Bon County, and other media. On December 6, 2023, LACTS wrote a communication or a communique to the legislature through the Speaker's office, highlighting our presence here yesterday and today. As you embark on these new responsibilities and prepare to take up the challenges of your high office, let's look forward to working with you in fostering the timely implementation of the will of the Liberian people. Together, let us work toward a Liberia that stands as a testament to the ideals woven into the fabric of our constitutional tapestry. LACTS is a non-profit and non-governmental organization that was established in Liberia in 2020 and has a 501c3 designation in the United States of America. Our mission is to provide a quality civic education to the citizens of Liberia in accordance with the 1986 Constitution. Furthermore, we work to foster the efforts of the Liberian people to become effective in the exercise of their constitutional rights and responsibilities for the enjoyment of their country's social, economic, and political well-being. Our vision is to empower the citizens of Liberia to shape a democratic government that responds to their wishes. The importance of prioritizing our issues and the impact they have on our society shall not go unnoticed. The wishes of the governed is hereby signed and submitted to the legislature on this 16th day of January 2024.
Okay, this submission of the petition, and it's given to the Deputy Chief Clerk, Committee of the House of Representatives, Commerce.
On behalf of the Honorable House of Representatives, headed by the Speaker, Honorable Councillor J. Funati Kofa, I want to thank you and members of the Liberian Advocates for Change Through Social Justice and Human Rights for the submission excuse me, we receive it, and as per our mandate, we're going to deliver it to the Honorable Speaker and members of the House of Representatives. Again, we want to say thank you, and God bless us all. Thank you so much. C. Commerce Chair, and I'm the Deputy Chief Clerk of the Honorable House of Representatives.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. The copy of this submission is going to be shared with all of our international partners, including the UN and the US. And it's also going to be published on behalf of the Liberian people. I am Emmanuel Biantano, Chief Executive Officer of the Liberian Advocates for Change through Social Justice and Human Rights Incorporated, LACTS for short. Thank you guys for coming.
So the Liberian Advocate for Change through Social Justice, LACTS for short, just presented the petition to the House of Representatives through the Deputy Chief Clerk, COMEX Chair, and according to Mr. Chair, the document will be presented to the Speaker of the House of Representatives for onward presentation to the General Body of the 55th Legislature or the House of Representatives for deliberation.
And there will be hearing different things and
It's the same thing.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much for coming and congratulations. Thank you. We'll take time to really come and celebrate. Like what I was saying, this is the first time people can work on my career.
So again, it's our pleasure for this live coverage. Is always the pleasure again for having you on this live, bringing you the presentation of a petition. The group Liberian Advocates for Justice through for Change through Social Justice and Human Rights. My name is Haji Masadasi. Thanks for watching.